everyone, it's Patty, the Quiet Sister. Welcome to the Pixie Dust Designs YouTube channel. For today's card project, I am using the Autumn is Here die set, and we're going to create a card using mainly ink blending, but I'll have some other examples at the end using foiling and Copic coloring. So to get started, I cut out the sentiment and the shadow out of some craft cardstock. And I'm using some pinky mauve ink. I loving this color for fall, along with the craft. And so I'm doing kind of an ombre, the lightest colors on top of the words and the top of the shadow, and then the middle range, and then the darker on the bottom. So blending that out, and I'm just using some tape to block off where I'm going to blend. I don't want it doesn't need to be a perfectly straight line when I blend. I do blend up a little bit into the letters, but I did want it to be fairly even, so I didn't want to, I get a little overzealous when I blend, and I didn't want it to be blended all over. So getting the mid-range color onto the shadow. So these colors are by Catherine Pooler, and I used Sparkling Berry, Rose Petals, and Pucker Up. So Sparkling Berry being the darkest color, Rose Petals being the medium. So finishing up with my ink blending there. I don't know if you can kind of see, there's the die set to the left of my hand, and you can see that there's 2 sentiment dies and then 2 shadow dies. So it's a wonderful set for the price. And I'm going in and getting the blending just a little bit better on everything. Probably didn't have to do it. It did blend pretty well on its own, but we all get fussy about our cards. So now I am adding, with this die set, it has these wonderful pumpkins, and it has beautiful leaves that go with it. So I cut a bunch out of the craft cardstock. I believe the craft I used is Nina Craft. And so I'm doing the same kind of ink blending, the light down to dark on the pumpkins and the leaves. And then so just popping back, and I'm finishing up all of the ink blending. So now I am taking, I don't know if it's pronounced sta or stay. It's S-T-A, metallic gold pen, and I'm doing little detail work. So I'm doing the pumpkin stems, and then the set has these darling, what do I want to call them? Kind of scroll things. They're actually like the pumpkin vines. And so I did color those in gold as well. And this pen worked great on the craft cardstock. So using the pen to add a little gold detail to the adorable little cutouts for this. And that did not take too long at all. I also did the stems on the leaves, just little bit of gold on those, just to dress it up a little bit. I think gold is beautiful for fall. Sorry, it's a little out of frame. You couldn't see me do it on the end. And then I took Pink Fresh Studios Diamond Tiles background stamp, and using Sparkling Berry, I stamped a piece of cardstock for the background, and then I cut it out using a Lawn Fawn stitched rectangle. I believe I used the second one down. And then I took a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of craft cardstock and went around the edges, and I'm doing the same thing for the background piece that I stamped. And then I'm going to start laying out my design, gluing little stem pieces on and leaves. You know, now that it's so funny how the inspiration comes as you're watching your own video. You could make a really cute grid card using this. With all the little accessories that come with it, you could make a really cute grid card. So I had inked up the sentiment, and I just really didn't like it. So I ended up grabbing some Tonic Studio Honey Gold mirror card, and I ended up cutting the sentiment out of the mirror card, and then I just glued that on top of the inked up sentiment, so there was a little bit of dimension, nothing went to waste. So here I am taking I'm going to go with Sta metallic gold pen and going around the edges of things just to add a little more fancy to it, get a little more gold on there. So I went around the pumpkins, I went around the leaves, just everything got a little more gold to it. It made it stand out against the background, and just it made them pop really nicely. And then I did cut out some of the leaves with the Tonic Studio Honey Gold mirror card as well, just to add as little accents. So the shadow is so wonderful because there's pumpkins that go along in there and some leaves that go along in there. So you can create a really cute sentiment. So you really don't have to do much past that, because the sentiment and the shadow give you so much design and so much prettiness. So I'm popping up that pumpkin. And now I'm going to start gluing. If you do not have a glue press, it's wonderful. If you have arthritis in your hand like I do, it's wonderful. It just saves your hands. It's really nice to have. So I am gluing down the sentiments and that, and then you can see I cut out extra pumpkins and extra leaves to arrange around the sentiment. But it does look good without it. Not necessary at all. So just got a few more things to add on the shadow part. So I want to remind you, if you have not gone to the Pixie Dust Designs VIP Club Facebook page, to please do so. There is some wonderful inspiration, and it's a really kind, fun community. So go ahead and go over there and pay a visit, like and subscribe. It's a great Facebook page. So I'm finishing up how I would like everything arranged. Adding little things here and there. Like I said, there's so many cute things. That curly Q is just adorable. And then getting that added to my background. See, isn't that fun with the gold pumpkin and the gold leaf? It dresses it up a little bit. And this would not be hard to mass produce. You don't have to do the ombre inking on everything. It's just something that I enjoyed. You could go ahead and do just plain inking or cut it out of different color cardstock, all of that. So getting things glued down, just seeing what I like best. It's kind of interesting, my card planning process is I come in with plan A and plan B and plan C, and then I mess around with all three plans. So it's always a combination of the three. I never just have one plan that works perfectly. I always have to fuss with things. So I'm going to add some foam tape to the sentiment, and that's just the Scotch 3M foam tape, nothing spectacular. I do want to try some other kind of foam tape from Simon Says Stamp. I've not ever used it, and I heard really good things about it, and I heard it comes in different thicknesses, so I do want to try that. And then I'll peel off the backing and go from there, get that applied and lined up. Get that pressed down, and then I'm going to go ahead and get some foam tape on the back of that card panel. and then get the backing off that. So that will finish up this card. Nope, it won't. That was a lie. I do then go in and get some very sparkly paints and do some little spritzes all over. And I somehow managed to shoot some about 3 feet away onto my iPad as well while I was doing this. So this is the card we just finished together, and I used this part, the Autumn is Here sentiment portion of the set. There's the 2 sentiment groups. And then I made an additional card, similar color scheme, kind of doing the same thing. I used a foiled background and then ink blended over the foil. So that turned out really pretty. I really like that. But my favorite was using this sentiment group is this one. I just love the colors. I love how it turned out. I did a little Copic coloring on the pumpkins instead of just the ink blending I was doing on all of these. And I really love how this turned out. This is Copic colored too, just coloring across on craft cardstock. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great week and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.